John, 10 training camps for you. How important is the second week, given all your history with the game, to get prepared, finalize things with your teammates, and get ready for 8 days from now?
Yeah, I think each day is as important as the first few or the last few. Um, you kind of talk about dog days of the season. And I think obviously dog days kind of the summer when you're in your kind of summer training. I think you kind of get a little bit of the sense of that in obviously a short period of time like training camp. As you start getting close to the season and everyone's kind of over the hurdle of kind of finally getting back at it and everything being official once again. So it's important to just kind of keep that focus that you've had all along to this point and using each day as best you can to prepare.
Austin was saying it felt like Niagara Falls was a month ago and it was really only like a little bit more than a week ago. You kind of, when you talk about the dog days, you kind of feel like let's get going here?
Yeah, I think obviously everyone's excited for the regular season, but from my personal experience, I feel like every year you kind of get to a point where you got to get over a little bit of a hump throughout training camp and this time of the year. So it's still a lot of preparation, a lot of work being put in to be ready for opening night. So I think it's just trying to keep that focus on one day at a time. As cliche it may sound, it just really makes it that much easier when you just focus on what you got ahead of you today and then wake up tomorrow and do the same thing over again, and hopefully that gets the time to pass a little bit quicker. So
how close to season ready do you feel right now?
I'd like to say I feel pretty good. So yeah, I mean every year is kind of different. I think whether how your training was coming in, how camp's been going for you, how many exhibition games you're playing, when you're playing them. So I think the important thing is just to kind of keep building. I think that's just kind of the best way to look at it. I feel like if you try to compare all the time from previous years, I think sometimes you can overthink things a little bit. I think you just got to kind of go with how you're feeling every day, and look at the things you got to work on and the things that are going well, and just try to build from that.
Are you thinking less now, John, do you think? Or is just as camp goes on, thinking less on the ice now?
I think so. I think certainly some things are becoming more instinctive, like I've said, so which is a good sign, and I think that's what I want to see personally, to just get that comfort level with my teammates and obviously the system.
Obviously, you're trying to develop chemistry with your line mates, but now Zach Hyman's been out a couple of days. Is that a worry, a concern, or just deal with it when it happens?
It's just part of the game. There's been times guys miss a few days of practice, guys miss a few games. I like to think wanting to be a really good player in this league and be at a very high level. Your ability to adapt to any situation, whoever you're playing with, finding ways to be productive and be counted on the ice to do your job well. So you just make the adjustments you need to, and work with your line mates, a lot of communication, and try to get a sense of how they play and their habits, and work off that.
So you're playing against Freddie Anderson. What have you learned about him, being around him so far this camp? What stands out to you about him?
Well, I think obviously his presence, his size is, when you're around him, I mean, obviously it's very visible. But I think it's his athletic ability that goes along with that. I think, as a bigger goaltender, his ability to move and stretch out and never make you feel like he's out of a play, like he's done a few times to me these last couple of weeks. His just athletic ability and never quitting on a puck is very impressive. And like I said, with already the skill set he has with his size, his ability to cut angles down and not see very much net, to have that type of ability when he is kind of stretched out or he's in recovery mode, to be able to always kind of be in the shooter's head, knowing that he's got a good chance to get it's impressive.
You've been around the league a while now. When a player's in a situation like William that's a teammate of yours, the guys usually talk about it behind the scenes? Is it out of sight, out of mind? How does a teammate treat that, I guess?
Well, I think obviously from both sides, we obviously want him here. But I think as a player, you obviously understand the business side of it as well. So I think it's just obviously it's not an easy situation, but for us, all we can do is worry about how we have to prepare for the regular season and hope that Willie gets here as soon as possible and something gets worked out. That's all we can really do. I think no matter what, we have his support and we have his back, and we want him here, but at the same time, we have to prepare for the start of the regular season, and with what's going on here now, and the attention has to be there. So it's kind of a fine line. I think obviously I've only been around him a little bit, but I know the other guys love having him around. Obviously know the type of player and person he is and the impact he has for this hockey team. So we just hope it gets done sooner rather than later, obviously.
Sean, the TSN Top 50 Players list is coming out today. Austin's number 8. Based on what you've seen of him, and obviously having played with him, it doesn't factor in how he looks in training camp, but what you've seen of him, how high do you think he can climb on that list?
Well, sky's the limit for him. I think You know, I think for us as players, you obviously, you know, you want to work to be one of the best players in the world, a very consistent player, year in and year out, and to be, you know, considered one of the best players in the game and in our league. You got to do it consistently, and there's no question he's already showing that. And guys like him, he doesn't want to set a bar. I think, you know, you want to keep reaching for more, no matter how high you get, whether it's something like that or what he's been able to achieve on the ice and his production and the type of player he is. So I think it's just his drive to want to be great is very impressive, and you know, I'd like to obviously see him be as high as he possibly can.
You're again on the list. Per usual, how hard is it to maintain that spot among the game's elite? Sometimes we take it for granted. Obviously, you're blessed with some pure talent, but the work effort that needs to stay and maintain that group.
Yeah, I mean, you don't take anything for granted. It's something I say a lot because I just really believe in it. I think, you know, every year you have to go out there and prove yourself again. It's the start of a new season, and whatever's kind of happened in the past is over with, and it's about the opportunity you have ahead of you to kind of be the player you want to be, and opportunity to reach new heights, strive for more, and find ways to get better, and as you get older, find ways to, you know, stay as young as you can and be productive and be able to do it consistently, like I said. So yeah, I just want to keep finding ways to get better.